Hello, boys and girls. Good evening, good evening. What's up, boys? So I said Friday, and here I am. Pretty good, huh? Pretty good. So today I have a small surprise. Because actually I decided to buy a webcam. But I also decided with the webcam to try to have an avatar, which is actually possible. With some software and with some tweaking, is actually possible. And here it is. Like it, huh? You like it? You like it? So the good thing of that is that it moves as I move. So if I look up, look down, look at my right, look at my left, it moves with me, and is using face recognition and a bit of movement recognition. So it's recognizing the eyes, the mouth, and some of the movements. Do you like it? Do you like it? Do you like it or not? You don't see it on the bottom left? Really? Okay, maybe there's a streaming to enable. 1 second. Let me check. I see it, but in my preview. You see it. Okay. Then Tony, how can you not see it if everyone sees it? It's on the bottom left. I can make it bigger if you want. There is only some issue when you are looking like at the, too much to the left or too much to the right. You basically lose the mouth control. And yeah. But if I close my eyes, he closes his eyes. If I open one eye, you open only one eye. It works pretty well, actually. It's pretty. I don't know. I like it. It's kind of fun. You can put different characters on screen. So you can use. I could switch character, but this character is the one that is more, let's say, plane shift oriented, so it looks a bit like an Enkidukai of the Akayo area. I mean, it's not really, but it's the closest pre-made that I could find. You like it? I think it's nice. I can also do some movements. But in this case are movements that are kind of pre-made so I can stick my tongue out and move the tongue. I can raise a hand. Hello. I know it's a bit silly, but I think it's better than no webcam, no? So I will keep him. I will keep him in the bottom left, down here. I don't know if it's too disruptive. I think I can actually. I don't know, I will try like this. How is the sides? I don't know if the sides is fine, but I would like to have it, reasonable sides. Okay. So after this small surprise, I wanted to continue with the weather system. So the last time we worked a bit on the weather system, and in particular we were discussing about this, which is the separation of our maps in sectors, right? And the fact that we can split the sectors like this, and in every sector we can have specific weather, right? And you see how it's close to what I do? And okay. So I will stop this. There is a clicking on the sound. Okay. I think I should be using the. Okay, that's a good one. Let me see. Let me see the settings of Discord. I mean the audio of this application should be completely disabled. So there should be no audio going on through it, but there may be some in Discord. Let me see which kind of voice microphone. Is this one? No, the microphone seems to be. Yeah, but I have to check on OBS. You are right, not on Discord. Why I check Discord? No idea. On OBS under settings, sounds, sample rate channel, blah blah blah, audio device. Well, I can go through. I have no idea which one is it. Yeah, he's using. I think he's using the one of the webcam. You are right. Desktop audio device. Let me try this one. Is this or not? Seems he's still using the webcam one. Let me try something. Yeah, he's using the webcam. Because if I put my hello. Nah, he's using the webcam one. That is not good. It's not good because it's less quality for sure. I can try to plug and unplug my. I think something will happen if I do it, but let's try anyway. Okay, I will try to unplug my microphone. Holy. I think it's detecting the webcam one as the primary for some reason. I only have two. I have a default and I have a Realtek audio output. No, I'm still using the other one. Is the sound bad or how is it? Because I don't know if I can solve it now, but it seems that the webcam audio is taking over. I don't know. I don't know. It's still the one of the webcam, I think. How do I disable it? Realtek input device. Capture input terminal. Microphone. I think
this. Okay, now is the main microphone. Let me go mute with the now is the main one. Now is the main one. Yeah, now should be the right one. Okay, now we have the right microphone. I disabled the other two, and I think it's okay. It sounds a bit quiet. Yeah, this microphone is much better. The webcam has a microphone, but it's really so. I could say, wow. It doesn't open the mouth. It moves my eyebrows a bit. This thing is funny. The only problem is that I cannot see it myself on screen because I don't see the stream. So, I mean, I see it, but it's in another monitor. I have to turn my face on the other side, and the mouth is opening. It's opening. There are a million settings, by the way, so I could, you know, tweak it a bit. Okay, so let's proceed, boys. I was saying that let me close these settings. Hopefully, we'll not fuck up. Okay, and I was saying that yes, we were working on the sector and weather. Now I think I restarted my PC, so I don't have Visual Studio open or anything else actually open, but we can fix it very quickly. We can fix it very quickly. Okay. This one and this one I need to have open, and this one I need to have open. So we were doing some work on the weather manager. The weather manager, just to explain you a bit, the weather this was, what was this? This was the, I can't believe it. This was the 425 upgrade, which by the way we finished. So the things we need to do are to ensure that weather manager is ported with let's say all the different effects. So with all it's not effect, all events, let's call it, okay? Because at the moment weather manager is is managing rain, snow, fog, and I think also lightning, but I don't know exactly. I don't know if it's connected already, but we need to port this. Then we need to connect the weather manager with the client, so that we send those events. And then we need to be sure that we are triggering, let's say we are triggering weather by sector. Okay, so these are basically the 3 things we need to do. By the way, I think I can type this here, considering that is our weather mission. Okay, so these are basically the 3 things we need to do. The voice is clear. Nice. Nice. Oh, okay. So you were here in the middle of this thing. I didn't have any time between the last time and today, so I'm sorry, but I couldn't develop anything because I was busy with other stuff. And let me see what happens if I drink something. I think if I drink something, my face will go completely crazy. Oh. I think it loses the connection with the face because there is a bottle in front of me. So I think it loses the connection. I mean, it loses the face recognition. Okay, so we were inside this thing. There are still a few errors. There are not a lot, but a few. So here we are constructing a weather message. Now, this constructor I think we don't have. And it's the constructor that I wanted to keep, but somehow we commented out, right? I think it's this one. No, it's not this one. I think here we are missing a constructor for our weather system. Let me see, where the hell is that? So should be the definition of this. FPS weather message. Yeah, we don't have a constructor that takes. What is this? Net weather info. So it's taking. I don't understand too much what this thing is doing. So it's getting a type. It's getting a type and is getting the weather data into it, and he's constructing it. And then after he constructed, okay, checks if it's valid, but for us it's not really relevant. But why 0? Why 0? In theory, in theory, because this one, if you remember, we changed the enumeration type from an integer to an enumeration, right? And so maybe this one is still the integer one, which is taking 0 as a value. The only problem is that zero is actually none. So okay, let me check what was this doing in the old code, because otherwise I think we will port it wrong and we will do a mess. I'm opening now the old one and see if I can let's open the old one. Okay. So here we are in weather manager. Weather manager. Weather manager. I should have it open, otherwise I would open it. And I want to see when we are. Yeah, you see a bit of the app that is creating the face there. And here, I did all open documents. That was a bit, I mean, it was a kind of a mistake. Current document. Okay, so we are. No, I think I need to take the exact function, handle weather event. Okay. And so inside of this, okay, Z. So weather message rain 0 info. I want to understand what this was doing in the old code. 0 was the client. Okay, no, the client we don't care. The client ID with the client ID was if you wanted to send, for whatever reason, the weather only to one player, but I think it was just for testing purposes. But in general, it should always be broadcasted to everyone. So I think it's fine. I think it's fine. So we need to remove the 0 and just construct it with info, which I think would be nice. We need to create a constructor, but it's pretty simple. Basically, all of this will be automatically -1. Well, I think I can just call it like this and then set weather. No, I think it's simpler way. I should. The type will remain to -1 though. This I don't like too much. Even if weather, because weather info, no, I need to pass in the type, otherwise it will never work. How does he know? Because here is rain, and so it just because here is inside inside the rain and snow. So it's assuming there is rain and snow. But okay, so let's do this. I don't fully understand this, but let's do a rain weather. I don't know why sometimes it doesn't like that. Yes, we set the weather info. Let's just do this. Okay. Now this rain is valid. I mean, it was done in the past because we wanted to check if the actual structure created was valid, but in this case, I think it's not relevant anymore. So all of this we can remove. Now we need a broadcast event for broadcast to everyone. We need a broadcast event to everyone. And I think we have it already because the same one that we use for time. So I think inside, I don't know if we have it in, we are, well, actually we had broadcast game time. I think we need, let me just recall if this thing, icon trigger, yeah, it's called handle weather event. Okay, so handle weather event is when we are already executing the event, so we should just send it to the clients. Now let me check 1 second the broadcast game time, right? Broadcast game time, broadcast to all player clients. Okay, so here we are iterating on, and we have receive game time. I think we need to create a new one which is called receive weather. I think it's the best way. So I'm just checking something else quickly. Okay. Yeah, I think we need to create. So here we did it on pawn. Why we did it on pawn and not on PS controller? Receive game time. Is there a reason why? Is there a reason why we? Is there a reason why we do this on the pawn? I'm not super happy that it's on the pawn, but because usually we do on the pawn the events which have to be then broadcasted to multiple players, or the events that have to happen actually on the character. But this is more of a global event, you know. So is the weather, is the time changing? So I'm not fully sure why I decided to do it. And it's me, that one I did it myself, I think. Not 100%, but yeah, I think I did it myself. Receive game time. PS weather. Well, we can keep it there. I mean, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. We can keep it there. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of difference. Both the player controller and the player are both replicated objects. So do we want to have one for each, or do we want to like receive rain, receive weather rain, receive weather snow, receive weather fog, or do we want to have one generic one? Hello, vertical Handley. Yes, it's face rig. Kinet, no, it is not required. It's just It's just a normal webcam. Just normal webcam. If you want to see the application, not because you will see my face. But anyway, yes, it's face rig with character that I have selected as the closest to one of the races that we have in game. Actually, we have a feline. Feline, you say in English? Feline, like a cat, people. Yeah. And that is the closest that was already available. Now, in theory, you could also upload your own avatar, so you can create it in 3D, but I checked a bit the specifications, how to do it, and it's kind of complex. Okay, so obviously we could reuse one of the assets that we have in the game, but actually what it requires you to create all the animations, because actually it's not really interpolating the bones, but it's actually deciding on a certain part of the face to run a certain animation, right? So you need to have 55 animations created for each piece of the face, which is a bit too much. I wanted to do it. I started to do it, but then I said, "Fuck it, it's too." I mean, I don't know why I need to spend all this time on that. I prefer to work on the game, and so I stopped. I think with the Kinect, you can also move your hands and move your body. At the moment, it is recognizing the movement of the head, left to right, and a bit up and down, not too much, because sometimes up it mess up, but recognizing the eye is very good. So if I look up or look down or look right or look left, for whatever reason, it's recognizing them very well, and that's interesting. It's recognizing mouth, cheeks, eyebrows. So it's pretty good considering is $15. I mean, it's plus a webcam, So I think it's very good. It's very good. I was expecting less. That's good. The best will be to have one of our characters from the game. Maybe we will do it in the future. Yeah, it's very funny. I can also do this. Look, what is it? I can also do this, and I can also do this. Hello, hello. I can also do other stuff, like I can put props on. So I think that is. Oh, I think it moved position. Yeah, when you put props on, I think it moves the position though. Anyway, you can put. I don't know why I don't have my load. I think I saved it. One second. I think I saved somewhere. My programs. Yes, it's here. Enki character. So if I attach this, okay, yes, this one. The problem is that it reset the position. You see, so now the position of the face is fucked up. So I will have to like reset it every time. I don't know why, but every time. But so I can have a pipe, for example. Or other stupid stuff. Yeah, I can move my bones. It's pretty stupid. I like it a lot. And there are different avatars, so you can. Let me try to put another prop on. Okay, I think I had it pre-configured too. I had this one. I cannot. and wait, and this one, huh? like like an helmet, like a Viking thing. Uh, so this is for the real, hardcore code sessions where you really need to go deep into the code. Yeah, it's pretty good. 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 I mean, at the end, it's a bit useless, but I mean, but I think it's fun. I like it. And there are many others. If you want to see the others, another one that I really like is this one. Ah. What about this one? What about this one? Huh? This one is cool as well. Huh? A small cat. I don't know. I don't know what he can do with this. Now, as a cat, I can stick my tongue out with this one as well. Now, with Unreal Engine, actually there is the possibility to connect Unreal Engine to face recognition. Unreal Engine just created a new or updated an app for iPhone X. So if you have an iPhone X, you can actually do that and have a face recognition. But there are so many avatars, so many. Some I don't like, but I think one that is fun is this one. Which is, by the way, following your eyes. So his eyes are following your eyes. Oh my god, that's very cool. I like this one. But the closer that we have, also this one is very nice. This one is a very nice puppy. Like you want to touch him. You want to touch him and see if he's soft. And out of this wine. Yeah, but I'm using this one because it's the closest to our. Like this, yeah, yes, yeah. But I think you need to recalibrate all the time. When you change character, you need to recalibrate. Yes. Otherwise, it's not working very well. And also, it's messing up the position. Basically, you have to keep it. I mean, you have to set it up before the stream and then keep it. Otherwise, it's always changing position and stuff, and it's a bit distracting. Yes, playing with the new toy is very, very nice. Okay. Very, very, very nice. So, I was thinking if we should have one event just passing in the type, or we want to have, yeah, why not? Let's pass in the type. I think it's the easiest now. So we can pass in const e-weather, whatever it's called. We call it type, and then we pass in the other one, which is, what was that? I already lost it. This one, FPS weather message. This is the one that has all the information. So we will do also here a const FPS weather message. We call it info. Okay. So I think this would be enough. My voice. I think this will be enough to broadcast, right? So I think we will call it broadcast weather, and so it will take e-weather rain. It will take e-weather. You are a C#, yeah. I never programmed in C# actually, so as you don't understand C++, I don't understand C#. But yeah, but it's basically, I don't think it's so different. I think pointers are the only difference. Probably in C#, I think you don't have pointers, right? Why weather is not coming up? But anyway, it's rain, okay? And then info. So we can broadcast it this way. Then the broadcast event, obviously, broadcast weather, obviously we need to create. So I think we will go here and copy game time. When I open the eyes, it's really opening the eyes a lot. If I go, I like a suspicious face. Yeah, suspicious face works pretty well. I don't believe too much in this code. Happy face? Happy face is okay. The mouth is a bit bugged up at the moment. I don't know. Okay, so I have to copy this one. Are you working in Unity? Yeah, I think Unity is anyway a pretty good engine anyway. I think that I watched a few videos. There is one pretty good video that I would suggest you if you want to understand the difference between Unreal and Unity. There is one that is very well made, and it really explains to you category by category, you know, so like the tools that you have, the rendering, the graphics, the networking, the templates, and it's explaining a bit between the two engines. And at the end, I think anyway, I'm pretty happy to have selected Unreal Engine. I think it's a pretty strong engine. I mean, they are doing a very good job at Epic Games. They are expanding it. They are providing a lot of tools. I mean, a big difference is that Unreal Engine and Epic Games has behind Fortnite, and Fortnite is making millions, and so with all those millions, they are investing into to make a better engine for them, so for Fortnite, and then moving also the stuff to us, right? I'm a bit out of camera view. Okay, maybe this is a bit better. So I think that's a big difference between the two engines. That one at the moment has a lot more money, and unfortunately in this world, you know, money matters. Unfortunately, but that's the way it is. So we're gonna copy this broadcast game time. What is this thing at the top? I think this was the original one. We can remove it now. I think I left it because I wanted to broadcast to super clients. Okay, this one is basically the one that is telling NPC, because super client is the old name of our AI. Okay, so let's say broadcast to NPCs. So also NPC will know that the weather is changing or that the time is changing. So let me clone this and let's change it to broadcast weather. And broadcast weather will take e-rain type, right? I mean e-weather type, so this will be e-weather type, and then we'll take this thing, FPS weather message as info. Okay, so this will be the two parameters. Now I think we need also to declare this one because we didn't do it yet. So I have to go in weather manager and actually declare it. For now, I think that sometimes we do great documentation. Sometimes we do zero documentation. But I don't know if anyone has the willingness to do it. It would be nice to go through the source code and fix all of that. Okay. I don't know if my mouse. I think if I'm looking straight, the mouth is okay. But if I like turn a bit, the mouth starts to be messed up. Yeah. But I think overall it's pretty good. What happened? Okay, another weather event. Okay, so this one we did. Okay, so going back to where we were, so here we do the same thing. So we iterate through all player controllers. We check if player controllers is valid, if it's a player controller or not, but yes, it must be a Planeship player controller. Then we get his character, and on the character we check there is a PS character, but obviously it is. And then with the pawn we send the we called it receive weather event, right? Receive weather event. Okay, receive weather event, and here we have the same thing. So we do type and info, right, as above. Okay. Then this one at the moment I will leave you fix me. I don't even know if we are using it, but there could be an NPC, that he sees the rain and he start to complain about the rain. So he can say, it's always raining in this city, or something like that. So I don't think we have that today. So I don't think that we are, or maybe yes, I don't know, I have no idea. I don't remember if we have it in the old game. Probably not. I don't know. Anyway, remember to click on the follow button, by the way, so that will help me. Doesn't cost you much, and it helps me because more followers we have, more things are happening. So broadcast weather. Okay, so this one we now call. So here we are basically with this one we're calling the client. So let's just ensure that this thing compiles, right? Because unfortunately here we are still a bit in the middle of it. Hey, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Why now event? Why now it doesn't like event here? I think it's just UPS weather game event. This one is actually declared. The. Okay, so I did some mess, huh? I don't think so. I deleted something or what? If I deleted something, I'm not seeing it. Unless he's not seeing e-weather type. Let me recompile. Oops. Let me recompile 1 second and see why the compiler thinks that here is messed up. Suspicious. Okay, while it's recompiling, will take like a bit. I think this event should all be okay. I don't know why he's complaining about it. It was not complaining 1 second ago. Maybe I did something stupid, but they should be fine as well. FPS weather message. No, I messed up. Okay, I know where is the problem. Is not weather message, is weather info. In weather info, we have defined it. Is weather info. Where is it? Is this one F weather info? I messed up the 2 classes. This probably was also why I was not liking it. So I need to change this. I need to change it here as well. And I need to change it. No, that's it, I think. I think that's all the places where I should change it. Hello, say a few new people joined. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so we have to do the same change. I think now the change is good for the rain, and we need to do the same for the fog and for the snow. The only thing that it seems to me that you see rain and snow are like together. I have to understand better this code because you see, for example, it's speaking about fog density here as downfall through. Ah, there is this freaking thing, you see it? So basically rain and snow are working in the same way. It is probably just changing the particle effect. So it's basically deciding if it's rain or snow based on this type. I don't know if I really like it, but that's the way it's done. I think this should be documented somewhere though, because it's so hidden, that it's not very easy to understand. Maybe we can put it in Weather Manager. Maybe it's already there. I didn't read it, but the point is that let me see if it's anywhere now. in event type. Yes, but this one is the trigger event, which is different from the one that I'm using when I call the client. Maybe I can explain it. Maybe I can explain it here. So let's say snow and rain use the same message. Well, actually snow, rain, and fog. I mean, all three of them use the same message. The downfall, the downfall is no. The downfall is no is switching between rain and snow, while fog is using other variables, right? So it's using like the color variable and intensity. So in reality, now that I read it better, we don't really need to specify if it's rain or not. That's why there was only info at the beginning. Okay, so yeah, I changed this like 3 times, but it's just because I was not understanding exactly how this was done. So we don't need this. We just need this, and is enough. By the way, if you have any questions on the game, or any question how can I maintain my poor so nice, you can ask. Um, okay, so now after this, make sure we don't have any other event in this sector that will disturb. Simple cases when event type are equal. In addition, we have to test for the mutual exclusive case where we are changing from snow to rain or rain to snow. Okay. What is doing here? Here is using a muted scope lock, because the idea was that the rain could be triggered by multiple events at the same time. I don't think so. I think I will leave this. I don't think we need it. I don't know. Where is these events coming from? These events is all the events that the weather manager is managing. Yes, probably yes. So it's on the class itself. Okay. And these events is actually an array, so we can change it to num. And event. All this should be the same. I don't understand what is this logic. If event sector equal to events, oh my god, these two variables, bro. Okay, so it's the current event that is checking. It's checking if there is another event on the same sector. Okay. Yeah, which is basically what he said here, by the way. Huh? So it's checking this. In case is pushing it to the ignore list. Okay. And is deleting it from So let me just check on my cheat sheet. Yes, this is the lead index. So the old delete index is just remove at. Okay, so I can just change it with remove at. That is super risky, by the way. It may work. Now this one has to become a ulog. And if you are confused on what I'm doing, I basically copied this whole block of code from the old game, which was done with another engine, and now I'm trying to make it compile in Unreal Engine, so I have to do this kind of adjustment sometimes. Like array, where array was slightly different and hashes were different. I mean, there were some differences, and so sector is actually an F string. Event value, I think, is a float or something, is an int. Okay, and duration is an int. Okay, so this should be okay. So this is basically checking there are no other events in the same set. I think it never happens, by the way, but if it happens, if for example a game, I think the case could be that you already have rain in the sector, and the game master for a specific event wants something else, wants snow or wants to remove the rain. Well, let's say wants snow, right? And so this is basically ensuring that the two events are not going one on top of the other, and so messing up, with that. What is Okay, event value. What do we do here? Q event to turn off rain and snow. If event value event snow true, event aside get weather enabled. Okay, this is now lining. I don't know. There is a reasoning behind this. I don't want to read again the reasoning. I'm just assuming that whatever we had made sense. Okay. Now Q next event. Yeah, this is a problem because there is an F string. Okay. So we will do tchar to ANSI of this thing, and I think we will be good. And sector, I mean, client num is useless now, but okay. Let's keep client num. Client num will always be 0, which is basically the calling client, but the calling client at the moment we are not using it. Then, what is it? Q event to stop rain and snow. Didn't we say the same thing above? Q event to turn off rain and snow. Q event to stop rain and snow. Duration, event, blah, blah. Get random weather. We are doing some randomization all the times. Like, even when we stop the rain or the snow, we put in some randomization that it stops after 10 seconds, 5 seconds. Q next event, okay. And here we have the same issue. So we need to okay. Else stop rain and snow. Q event turn on later again if enabled. Don't know what is it, but I assume it's okay. Okay, so rain and snow should compile now. Okay, we still have an issue here. I don't know what is it. yes, we remove the type. So we remove the type here and we remove the type here because we understood how it's working, which is nice. Now we're going to the case of fog. Okay, when we have the fog. And let me just check one thing. My CPU is using 20% CPU. FaceRig is using 20% CPU. Let me see if I change the resolution. I mean, not the resolution of the character, not the resolution. Oh, no, I think it would be the same. If I change the resolution, graphics. Oh no, it's already the minimum. So no, it's already the minimum. Okay. Yeah, so it's taking a bit of CPU. It's taking about 20%. So when we are like running the game or doing some performance test, you may mess up a bit, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay. So fog. Let's see if there is any problem. No, it seems that it's fine. All these parts should be okay. This one obviously needs to be changed in the same way we changed it up here. So I'm just copy pasting this piece. And we are going to do this. And then name is an F string, so we need to escape it or whatever. Put the star. Value should be fine. Okay. Save the fades in so we can reverse it when fading out. Fade fog. Okay. We are removing fog, so remove and save flag. PS weather message. We understood that we need to just pass the info. Info is valid. This could not happen anymore, so we can remove it as well. This is something that is not happening, and so we have our broadcast weather, and we put in our fog message. Okay. Right? Wasn't that? No, our info. Then why we create this freaking... Why we create this if then we don't even use it? Because I think in the old game we were sending the message, right? But in this case, so this is totally useless for us, at least in this case, because we are broadcasting directly the info. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. What was it? Yeah. We don't need this line. Because in the past we were creating a message which was kind of a wrapper of the actual information, because the message was then scheduled through the networking system that we had built at the time, which was custom made, right? But now we don't need that anymore. Okay. I hope we will be able to see something soon, okay? So not just code, but seeing some rain going through. Snow, I don't think so, because I don't think we implemented the snow, but client side. Server side, we have all the support, as you can see, but event value, okay, this is the same thing that he was doing there, just checking that if there is a conflicting event, he's going to schedule it. Here we need the same teacher to ANSI as we had above, because it's the same piece of code. Thank God I don't have to to rewrite all this code. I can just copy paste it, as you can see from the old game, and stop the fog. Okay, then we have lightning. Lightning, interesting. Okay, I need another U log. I think lightning we have in Unreal. So we do sector, and this one becomes F nether weather info. And you see that the trick, what he's doing here, is saying that he has no downfall. So basically there are no drops, no particles from the sky. So no snow, no rain. He's saying that it's not snow. He's saying that there's no fog, but he's saying lightning through. So it's basically working, instead of working with a type, it's working with a variable inside the info, which, I mean, is pretty much the same, but so here, it is a bit different. For some reason, it's also putting this client num, but at the moment, I'm leaving it like this because I want to but again we don't need this. But why was having the client num in this case? So for the fog, it was doing something different. For the fog, it was doing something different. But for us, will be the same. Will be broadcast weather and then just info. Okay. So it's just generating a lightning, and all of that is not needed. Okay, this one I need to remove because we changed it to an enumeration, and here we need the same thing. Yeah, it's a bit of a redundant code, but I think it's fine. Also because maybe in the future we will make changes based on the particle type, so day and night. Day and night, I think we have this already. Yes, it's this one. This one was used. I mean, we have uncommented the part above, but from here down is the one we are already using in game at the moment because the day and night is actually working. So this part should be okay. Okay, so I think we finished the server side. Let me see. I think we finished the server side. Yeah, when I have a bottle in front of me, he's losing the face connection. Okay. It's recompiling, so we have just to wait a bit. Meanwhile, I'm checking some other stuff. Other devs are very quiet this period. I think it starts to be holiday season. I've seen some of them active, but a bit quiet. But it's okay. And by the way, since Monday, I'm in holidays, which is very nice. I still have to think if I want to go somewhere. I think I will for maybe a few days. I have 1 or 2 locations that I want to go. But I think I will stay in Italy because going abroad is too risky for the corona lockdown. So you go in another country, and then for whatever reason, the corona is getting worse, and you are forced to stay there. You cannot leave. You cannot leave that country and come back. So I think it's too risky. So I'm not gonna do it. Yes, we do. Italy has been one of the big frontliners, I would say, a long time ago. In say March, April, and that period, we were like the country with the most cases. Now, if you check the situation, if you check the corona situation worldwide, which is this website, which is great, Italy is kind of in the middle of the pack, but considered in the last basically 2 months or so, the value basically remained always very similar. So it was like 235,000, and now it's 247, but basically didn't move. It didn't move. The problem is, the real problematic areas are US, which is still a big issue, Brazil, which is growing like crazy, India, which is growing like crazy. So these are the three where really is a problem. Russia, I don't know. Russia, I think, is a problem to get the numbers, but yeah. South Africa has grown a lot. I don't remember South Africa in this position. It seems that it's growing now. I don't remember it, but all the countries that have been hit, in the peak of 3 months ago, 2 months ago, now are pretty stable. Like Italy, France, Germany. Those were pretty high. I mean, they were the front runners really of the corona. By the way, I'm drinking a Corona beer right now, which I know is not the best. Corona beer, the Mexican one. I'm drinking, yes, exactly this bottle right now, which is a bit of a funny name, in this period, but that's what it's called. Corona means crown. Crown in Spanish and also in Mexican, I guess, because it's from Mexico, and also in Italian is the same word. In Italy, we just had the first wave. We didn't have a second wave. But like in India is the second wave. In North America, in America, I don't know. I don't know why you can consider it, but I think it's still the first. It's a long first wave. Okay, succeeded, which is pretty good. Oh yeah, succeeded. So the server side is fine, right? The server side is fine. Now we need to connect. So basically we did this step, okay? Okay, so this step is done. Now we need to connect the weather manager with the client and sending those events. And then triggering the weather bisector. This would be, I guess, the hardest for us. I don't know, or not. No, maybe not. But we can do it. I'm thinking, that I mean, in this broadcast event, we are actually sending the weather to the client anyway, but I don't think it's a good idea. I think we can send it to all the player clients in that particular sector, right? Why not? I mean, there is no point in send. I mean, if my player is here, right? There is no point in sending him the weather of this sector here, right? There's no point. So we can just check that. I mean, the only potential case is on small sectors, like when I'm inside a tavern and I want to see that outside is raining. It's a bit of a mess, huh? That case is a bit of a mess. I'm inside a tavern. I'm looking outside. In my sector is not raining, but outside is raining, and I want to see the rain. So there should be some reasoning on. But this is not easy because for me will mean it's a bit of a mess. Because imagine that I'm inside a tavern, okay? There is a window. I'm sitting here at the table, and I'm in one sector, right? And I don't know, I'm sitting. I don't know. There is the chair. Okay. And I'm looking outside. So what we want to do? No, but training inside the tavern, I think will not happen anyway. I mean, it's already working today. That is already fixed. The problem is that the game should detect somehow that there is one sector and outside is another sector, and it should do a line trace and see if there is visibility. Is a mess. No, I cannot do it. I think from the inside you will see that it's not raining. I know it's not nice, but I have no other way at the moment to do this. I mean, one way of doing it is to consider everything one sector, including the outside, and considering that our rain as a roof or ceiling check. In that case it will work, right? But this means that you make the inside of the tavern as a sector. Not as a sector. So you will make everything outside and inside as one single sector, but this means that then you cannot change music, for example, when you enter the tavern, unless you have an emitter on the. Maybe we can do an emitter on the tavern and fuck it, because actually we are using sector in small places only for music. We have someone on the web already done it. At the moment, we are at the level. I mean, we are at the level that our game logic is a lot into the code, and so there is no easy way to search for samples on this kind of game logic, because like the sector is not something that exists in Unreal. So I cannot search for, I cannot Google sector split, or sector subdivision, or because it doesn't exist. It's something that we invented and we put in ourselves. So now, no. Let me see if my face is doing no when I shake my head. No. Yes, very much okay. I do yes. The vertical is not really working very well. The left and right works okay, but the vertical. Move up. If I move it too much, it's losing. Yes. Maybe a bit, but left-right works much better. Okay. Okay, so what were we saying? Yes, we want to filter by sector, right? Yes, we want to filter by sector, absolutely. We want to filter by sector, that's the best idea. So, spawn manager, current worker, plan controller, value duration, blah blah blah. Okay, up to here. If pawn, because I need a pawn. If pawn, and pawn get sector. Pawn get sector is returning a sector info. Okay. Sector info, I have the sector ID. I think I have the UID. Yes, I have, because I would prefer to compare a number and not compare a name, right? A string. So the problem is that I think here I have the UID, but in my info, unfortunately, I think I have only the name, which is very stupid. Why I have the name of the sector here and not the ID? Why I have the name and not the ID? Is there a reason? Is there a reason why I have the name and not the ID? I mean, client side, we will do nothing else than checking again by coordinates, right? So the problem is that if I add here, no, we have to do it by name at the moment. It's annoying. But we have to do it by name. That's a bit annoying. I mean, usually are short names, so it's like, you know, the performance hit is like from an integer, which can be comparing 1 byte to maybe 10. Yeah, so it's completely negligible, because also we are doing this cycle only on the players connected, and we are doing it only when the rain is changing. So this thing may run, I don't know, once every 2 minutes at the maximum for, I don't know, maximum 100, 200, 300 players. So I think that the performance impact is basically zero, but still it's a bit stupid, you know, to compare here by name when we have the ID, at least on this side. Unfortunately, on this side we don't have the name, so we have no choice at the moment, but it would be nice to have the chance to do it. I think the U is not really taking it as a. I think this character, because depends how the character is created. If he has the mouth, which is kind of large, I mean, built to close his mouth, close his mouth. Okay. Otherwise, it doesn't do it. Okay. Yeah, broadcast to NPC, we will do it another day. Okay, so here we filter by the sector. So I'm expecting this thing to be triggered only if the rain is changing in the sector where I am. Okay. Okay, let me recompile, but I think it should be fine. So I think we can move to the client side. We can move to the client side now. How do we simulate this thing? How do we simulate this thing? Well, actually, when the server is starting, well, there is a big issue here, though. Well, I think it was already solved somehow, right? I think I know why there was a client num. Hey, yes. Because the problem is the following. The weather changes. At a certain time of the day and is sent to all the clients that are connected at that time. Sorry. Okay. And he sends it to all the clients that are connected at that time. And so it says, "Who is raining?" But then another client connects, like 1 second later, and so this client will not get the rain event because he was not online when the rain event triggered. You know? So, yes. So when the client connects, he needs to ask what is the rain, what is the weather there, right? And I think that we do this already for the game time. So in the same way, we have to do it for the weather, otherwise it will not work. It will not work for someone that connects after the event trigger, so he will not see the rain. He will see the rain only when he will trigger the next time, right? And it's not good. So here we have a receive game time, but there should be a request game time. I think the request game time is probably on the player controller. No? Holy moly. He's not here. Okay. So how do we... I mean, I'm pretty sure that when we connect... Maybe the server knows it. Maybe it's the server that is pushing it. I think maybe it's the server pushing it. Huh? Huh? Receive game time. Let me do this. Let me search for receive game time everywhere. Because or is in the blueprints or is here somewhere in the code after the client connected. Really? Then it's in the blueprints. Oh, but there must be... Okay, let's launch the... I have to understand this because I would like to do it exactly the same. So let's launch the editor and let's check when the client connects how it receives the game time. Because in the same way, it will have to receive the weather. Exactly in the same way. Do you think the avatar is making the live streaming a bit more human? I mean, like, there is more connection between you and me because you see something, you see a character moving. So it feels more like I'm not a bot. I think it does, but at least there was the original purpose of putting the avatar there. Okay, let me check under blueprints. I think it can be in the initialization of player controller. But there should be a receive game time. Because I'm sure I'm receiving it. So I need just to understand where we are receiving. The best way would be after the character enters the world. After the character enters the world, then, you know, okay, let me search for receive game time. Receive game time. Event receive game time. Event receive game time. Yeah, but this one is the one set time. Set time. Holy moly, set time. Set time, unfortunately. as a kind of a keyword for set timer as well. So BP Sky, set the time from outside of this blueprint in time of the day, which we converted, blah blah blah. No, but it's not here. So it seems that no, it's not here as well. Really? So it seems that it's called only in the player controller here. But it's not possible. No. No, there is something that is not possible. Or the time is embedded into another message somewhere. Or the search that I did here didn't actually return what I wanted, because receive game time. It cannot be only here. Come on. Why he finds it only here? I think the search is fucked up. The search is not searching. You see? And now he finds it. All open documents or current project. I mean, current project is the full thing. So how can you not see it? Current project doesn't work. Okay, that's interesting. Receive game time. So we have a few other places in the code. One is this one, send client game time. Send client game time to the specific client. In broadcast game time, which is sending it to everyone. Okay, so I think that this one, send client game time, you see, update client. So there is a place server side which is this one, update client, which is actually sending the game time. When it is update client, I have no idea when it's called, but I'm assuming that it will be called when the player connects. Come on, you can find it. Yes, exactly. That is when the player is connecting. Okay, good. Send the game time to the client. So let's say send the game time and weather of current sector. But weather of current sector is a good thing. Is a good question, because here, do we already have? Yes, I think that here is where we teleport him into the main world. So I think that yes, here he will be already in the right sector. So I think it's fine. And then we do update client just after that. So I think it's good. I think it's good. Yeah. I do keep imagining our current face making the special expression. That's why a part where I stuck out his tongue. I could do it. I want to do it actually. I would like to have a crime character or a... The problem is that it's not that easy. I mean, it will take me... I don't know. I mean, there are two ways. Doing it from scratch, which I think it will take weeks. It will take quite some time. Maybe not weeks, but maybe 2 weeks, yes. Or trying to adapt another character that I got as an example, because there is an example character which actually loads up in Blender. So I tested it and it properly loads in Blender. So trying just to change the geometry of that character to be the one of the crane and the textures, but leaving all the animations identical to that one. That is what I was investigating, and what I kind of tried to do. No, not try to do. I was fantasizing. Can you say fantasizing in English? I was dreaming about, doing, but I was just thinking about it, saying, maybe we can do that. Maybe. And but it's still quite some work. I think it will take me anyway 2 or 3 days. I don't know, and I don't know if I really want to spend 2 or 3 days for that. Maybe I can do it, in the spare time. I mean, I don't know. I can do it like at low pace. I think it would be very nice to have one of our characters. I mean, this one we can pretend is an Enki, but it's not really an Enki. I mean, it could be an Enki, a Kaio. Maybe the ears are not really. And maybe the nose is not, but it's the closest I found. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay, so we update the client for weather and time. And you see that actually here I commented out this, but now we can uncomment it. And I think it will do what we need. We just need to port this part of the code. So basically, there are 2 entry points, exactly like I was drawing here. There are 2 entry points. There is one that is the weather changes whenever the server decides that the weather has to be changed, and that is going into the different clients and is updating the clients. And then there is another event, which is the one when the player connects, right? Which is anyway triggering a weather event, right? In the same way. So it's the same thing, but it has to be done when the player connects. And this one is the one when the player connects. So, FPS weather message. So this one is different. This one is like this. By the way, we should check also what is this stop weather. I think we should also fix this part. CS hash T sector info global iterator get sector iterator. This thing is returning a T map of what? I think it's returning a T map of this. If we do it by name, but I think it's okay. Let me just put immediately the ether ++, otherwise then I forget about it. and then we do just this value, and all the rest should be pretty much the same. Sector is knowing. Yes, but anyway, all this is fine. I think all this is exactly the way it should be. The only difference is that here we have the message that has to be sent to the single client. Which in our case is this guy. Okay, so I think we will implement in the same way we had here a send client game time or something. And a client receive game time. Yes, we will do the same for send client weather. I don't know why we didn't have one, but because we were doing it differently. Why we didn't? Anyway, we can remove this. The null comment is not relevant anyway. So. But yeah, in theory, we could also avoid going through this. I can make it simpler, actually. I can just directly call the update on the client, and that's it. I can just do client and then receive weather message, weather event, whatever it is. Yes, receive weather event, and we put in the network info, and that's it. Yes, absolutely. The only thing is that you see here we are sending again the weather for all the sectors. I really don't understand why. Why we decided to send to the client the weather to all the sectors and then updating, because I mean there are sectors that are miles away from him, so he will never look at those sectors in a short term. So why sending him the weather of every single place? It doesn't make any sense to me. I would send him the one of the sector that he belongs at the moment, where he is at the moment, and then when he change sector, we query again. So I think the difference, let me think. So there are two scenarios, okay? There are two scenarios. One scenario is we send the weather info for all sectors when player connects, and then we send to player the changes of weather. server side. Client side, server side. Client side, we check, we have a timer which checks in which sector we are. We have a timer which checks in which sector we are and asks the server for weather info. Right? Then there is the other case, which is the one I was thinking, but maybe it was not a good idea, which is we send the weather info only of the sector the player is in, and obviously we send to the player the changes of weather, so that's the same. The difference here is that the client side, we have a timer, we have to have another timer anyway, which checks in which sector we are, and it is identical, but instead of asking the server for the weather info, he just knows it because he has it cached locally, basically. He has it cached locally, and so uses the info from the client cache about weather. Okay, so these are the two options. Which one is the best? Which one is the best, boys? Okay, so let's say performance-wise, here we are sending the weather info of potentially 50 sectors, or I don't know, 30, I don't know, let's say 30 plus sectors. Okay. And let's assume that the weather changed 2 times. We send it 2 times. No, so I switch this to, or we have a timer which checks in which sector we are and asks the server. No, fuck, I fucked up. Yeah, sorry, I've switched. I switched those two. Why I switched those two? No idea. Okay, I don't know. My brain just did something. Okay, we switched those two. So we send the weather info to the sector when we go. So here we have all the sectors. Okay. So if we have all the sectors, we use the cache from the client. So here the query will be 0. Okay. Now on this side, we send the weather info only on the sector where it's in. So we'll send it once. Then we send the player the changes of weather, which we assume that there are 2 changes. And let's assume that there are 2 changes exactly in the sector where he's in. Ah, yes, by the way, here we have to send the changes of weather for all the sectors. While here we send the player the changes of the weather of the sector he is in only. So again, maybe here we change the weather to, you know, to 10 out of the 30. So 10 changed, and here only 2 times was the sector where he's in. The problem here is that whenever this guy is moving between one sector and the other, we will have to check again. So so depends. So basically, this one is better when the player does not move a lot between sectors, and this one on the left is best when the player is moving a lot between sectors, right? But overall, I think I prefer this one on the right because I think it's better, because as our world becomes big, I mean, why I have to cache client side the weather of like 30 sectors? Then I'm not really using. So I think we will go with this one. So obviously, if you change the sector very often, you need. If you change the sector very often, we ask to the server the weather info all the time. But you move a lot. But the sectors are pretty big now, huh? So it means that you have to move from Idla to the roads and to Ojaveda. This will be 2 changes. So by the time that you walk all this distance, probably the weather changed anyway. So I have to send you an update anyway. So I still like the second one. I don't know. I think it's more. I can put a you fix me, so we'll review it maybe in the future. Old code was sending the info on all sectors. So it was basically iterating and blah blah blah, but no. We're gonna check. We're gonna get, which by the way is extremely simpler, but at least in this part of the code. So the only thing we need to do client get sector, so we get the current sector is in. All the rest is identical. All the rest stays the same, and we send him the weather event, okay? It is Girly moves. Girly moves. But I'm still very confused if you are a girl or not, or a man, because you're called Tony. Tony is a name of a man usually. No? And I'm still very confused about that. Very confused. Okay, so here we send the weather and the client time. So I think that now finally we can move client side. So this means that our receive weather event. I have to close it and regenerate, because otherwise it will not work. You are a girl, okay. And Tony is why you call Tony then? Maybe Tony, like Andrea. Andrea can be used for man and female. But anyway, it's fine. Okay, so now we can, so we compiled fine, compiled okay, so we can go in the editor, and basically now we have all we need. Okay, so we have the only thing that I don't have is when the client is asking about the weather in a specific sector, do we have that call available? We don't. So this one we need to add because we don't have a request. We don't have a request game. We have a request game time, but we don't have a request. We don't have a request weather. Now for sure we don't have it, so I can avoid searching. And it's for sure we don't have it. So I need but all the requests I think is better if they go through the player controller, no? Because I think I don't have any requests. It's a girl name in England. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Like my name, Luca, can be a girl name in some places. Well, actually, we have a request at target else, but I think it's a bit of an exception because I think all the requests we put it on a player controller base. So let's stick to that. Let's stick to that. We don't have anything about weather at the moment. I think I can put it. I don't even know. I don't know where to put it, but because it's not in any category, but I think we can put it in character creation. I don't know, in look interaction, character interaction. Let's put it in character interaction. Okay, so this will be blueprint callable. This will be a blueprint callable which we put in PS weather, and it will be request weather. Simply request weather. It doesn't take any parameters, right? Yeah, it doesn't take any parameters. And what this will do, this will be super simple. Super simple. Super simple because nice copy paste. So I think we can. Do we want to do this? Well, yes. Maybe here I may need it. So let's try to get PS sector info pointer sector equal to client. Yeah, I need to do it. I need to do it here. Phone get sector, and it will be sector name, and and then here we will call weather manager, and in weather manager we will call send. Visual Studio is helping me. Yes, it is. Send client gain time. No. No, we were not even doing this. We were just doing. In theory, is update client, but update client is sending both weather and time. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Let's do it like this. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Okay? So we have this thing, request weather, which is actually asking the server about the weather of that particular locations where we are, which I think is good enough. It's good enough. Hello? Hello? I can also do the right one, but I cannot do them together for whatever reason. When it ends in Y, is usually a guy. When it ends in I, it's usually a woman. Really? When it ends in E, it's usually tone lock. What is tone lock? When it ends in Y. The most weird name for me in English is Guy. You know? Guy. Guy, which means guy. I mean, guy is a guy, you know, but it's also a name. So it's like if there was a name like man. Like if you are called man. I don't know. Guy is a very weird name to me. Guy. Hey man. Hey guy. I don't know. It sounds a bit weird. I mean, it doesn't translate in my language. Or maybe it does with the tizio. Tizio means someone. Yeah, maybe there is a similar one for us as well. One failed. What do you mean one failed? Undefined type sector info. Really? Why is doing this to me? This should work. Wow, it's so hot in here. I don't know how hot is at your location, but at my location is insane. It's very hot. It's very hot. How many degrees there are now? How many degrees there are now? Weather in Torino. So now it's like midnight and there are 29 degrees. If you are a Fahrenheit guy, 84. And today there was like 32 or 33, but the problem is the humidity. Look at the humidity, 67%. It's like swimming. 67% humidity. I don't know in England. Ah, 22. Oh shit, 70% humidity though. Even more. Yeah, but 22 is a bit better. But still a lot, huh? Still a lot. To be midnight, well, for you it's not midnight, but Germany. Germany, we can get Stuttgart or Hamburg. Hamburg is very to the top, huh? Hamburg is 18. Stuttgart. So it's 24. Germany is a very big country, so depends where. Yeah, no, I did it because you were in Germany. I did it because you said I'm in Germany. But if I get the weather in Naples, which is to the south of Italy, well, it's 26, but it's 76 humidity. I think at the moment, the north of Italy is hotter than the south, for whatever reason. For whatever reason. Okay, we compiled this. Yes. Are we happy about it? Yes. Let's go. Okay, I'm trying to do some faces only to move the guy. Okay, let's go on the editor side, huh? Yes, let's go on the editor side. So now we should have all the entry points that we need to actually manage the weather on the client. Alright? We should have all the entry points because we have the one when the player connects, the one when the weather is changing, the one when the player is changing sector. So there are three entry points, yes. Three entry points. When player connects, when weather is changing, when player is changing sector. These are the three entry points that we have for generating, for exchanging weather information with a client. Okay? So we are sending those events. So now I'm expect. So now which one we want to do first? Which one we want to do first? Well, when the player connects, I think is the one we should do first. When the player connects is the update client, which is already calling receive weather event. So I'm expecting, well, they will be the same though because it's for my sector. So on the client side, I will not check anymore if it's the right sector. I will assume. The problem is that if I'm moving between sectors, this could be a problem. So let's say that I'm in a sector and I'm just at the border, right? So I'm just here, about to move to the other one. I ask to the server what is the weather, and he's telling me it's raining, but as soon as it tells me I'm moving to the other one, and actually I'm moving to the other one before he sent me the answer. Well, actually I don't think it's possible because I will anyway, when I change the sector, I will send the request and the request will arrive after the answer of the first. Yeah, no, I think it's fine. think is a borderline case, but I think it will anyway be fixed by itself when we request the next one, so it's fine. I think it's fine. Don't worry. So we said it is on the client. Is on the client. So on the client is on the pawn. I mean, is on the pawn. Is on the pawn. So the pawn is here. Okay. Do we have a weather? Do we have a weather? No. We have magic and combat. Maybe we put it under perceptions. Or we just create a new graph. I just create a new graph. Let's call it weather. Okay. Completely new graph. Easy. On this one, I want to have the event, which is event receive weather. Yes, this one you see now it exists because it's the one that we created on the C++ side. Okay. So this one, and this one is including or is having all the information that we have set on the other side, right? Now we will need to interpret this. So we assume that we are already in the right sector, and I think for now we can do something very simple. So first of all, let's try to understand. Receive. Wait a second. Receive weather event. This one I'm still server side. I'm still server side, boys. So I need to add a new event, which I will call the same but on client, and this one will be executed on owning client and reliable, and this one will call this one. Okay, but this one needs to have an input which is called info, which is exactly of the same net weather infrastructure, net weather infrastructure. Okay, so this one connects to this and this one. So okay, so with this move we move from the server to the client in an asynchronous way, and we we do what we need to do. Hey guys, if there is anything new to the stream, I would really appreciate if you can click on follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. That would be very nice. So the next time I'm live, you will know it. The more people we have watching, the more people are coming. So it's kind of a snowball effect. Thank you. Now from this one, we will need to see how to connect it to our weather system. We already have a client-side weather, which I don't understand too much, but because I didn't do it, someone else did it, which I think is under our skybox. I think we have the skybox, which is managing the weather, if I remember right. I don't remember what the sky is. It's not here. What is the sky? Sky. BP sky. Work content weather. Okay, this guy is the guy that is managing the weather client side in a very simple way at the moment. So he's doing the effects, but he's not really triggering any events, you know. So let me see what it does. Some queue breaks if it doesn't. Okay. Activate. Ambience. Activate. Okay. Is dedicated server. If it's true, destroy the actor. Okay. If it's false, set a reference to the player controller, Sky weather object. Okay, so we have a reference which is called sky weather object on the player. That's very nice. Get component references. Is clearing everything. So it's clearing. So basically, it's a clear sky. But as you see, we have this thing. We have rainstorm, thunderstorm, dense fog, overcast. So apply weathers. Then it's setting this. Based on this B, apply weather setting is looping. Well, actually it's doing something because it's looping on this function. Apply weather settings. The point is that this function doesn't exist. No, it does. Okay. Apply weather settings. What is doing? Interpolate weather. Okay. Okay. So there is the cycle, which is just interpolating the different effects when they happen. Okay, so it does the transition. Interpolating means that it does the transition between the two things. Okay, but this by itself is not triggering anything, right? It's not triggering anything. So what I need to do. Hello, Jay. Welcome back. So what I need to do is to see how to trigger and I think the easiest for me, thunder and light. Let me just check here the thing. Thunderstorm. I think these are all the events. Thunderstorm, rainstorm. What is the difference between rain and rainstorm? I have no idea. Maybe rainstorm is just a lot. Clear sky, fog, overcast. I have no idea what it is. Overcast. Okay, cloudy. Cloudy. Cloud density 1. Yeah, in fact, it puts the cloud density to 1. Okay. Overcast. Overcast is a weird word. I never heard of overcast. Okay. I'm trying to memorize it, so I will use it maybe. And indoor. So yeah, I think it's as simple as calling this. I think if we call this in our BP sky, which we said that we have anyway a reference set in our player controller. Yeah, I think it would be very simple. So let's try. Receive weather event. Now, the thing that we need to do, we need to interpret the yes, but one problem is that we don't have the parameters. We have to fill in the parameters. But okay, so let me break this. So the way to interpret this data is first we check if he has S downfall, yes or no. Okay, so if it's true, means there is rain or fog. I know it's a bit convoluted, but this is way it was done, and I don't want to change it at the moment. If it's rain or fog, you just do this check on downfall is no, and if it's true, then here we are on snow. Okay, which by the way I think at the moment we don't have. We don't have in Unreal. Do we have snow in plane shift? Do we have snow in the old game or no? I'm searching for a screenshot with snow. What is this? Do we have snow? I mean, for sure we have rain, but I don't know if we have snow. We don't have enough screenshots, by the way. I need to publish more screenshots of PlaneShift with the name PlaneShift so that Google will pick it up. I don't have enough, boys. Okay, anyway, snow we don't have. If it's false, then it's rain. And rain we have, so this one we can put it in. Snow we have to make. If it's not snowfall, then it can be fog. Or can be lightning. Okay. If it's none of this, then it's nothing. Then it's clear sky. I don't know. Then it's yeah. Then it's clear sky, I guess. So if this is true, then we have fog. If this is true, then we have lightning. And if this is, if it's nothing of this is true, then we have clear sky. Okay. Now, here we are on the pawn. Okay, here we are on the pawn, and we are already client side because I did the switch. Yes. So I need to get my player controller. The player controller of this pawn. So I think I can just do get controller. Yes. And I can just do cast to PlaneShift player controller. Yes. And well, no. I already have it. Why I'm doing this? I have it, right? No. I remember we saved. No. I remember we saved. Okay. Maybe. I see. I'm blind. Okay, so we have the player controller related to this pawn. Nice. From this one, we can get the skybox, which is a pointer to the sky, which we need. And then from here, we go to call The problem is that I think I want to pass in some variables. So I think that the current function, like if I call here rainstorm, you know, and I put it here, I think it's not enough. Will I have different weather for ocean? Well, actually in the database we can already define. Now I don't have it open, but in the database we can already define different type of weather by sector. Now, I don't know if we ever did it, but in theory is already like this. I mean, with different weather you mean like that it rains a bit less, or different weather like sandstorms, because I was thinking about sandstorms for Oja, but I mean, depends what you mean. But today, the database under sector. So we can already define a bunch of stuff, you know. I don't know if it's too small for you to see it, probably yes, but it is by sector, okay? So you can say that only for Ojaveda there is a minimum rain, a maximum duration. So like, I don't know, you can say that in Oja it always rains maximum for 5 minutes. It's like England, you know. Or you can have the minimum and maximum raindrops. So these are like thresholds, you know, like min and max. They then will be used in randomization. Or you can say that it's never lightning. So lightning will never happen in Oja. Or snow will never happen in Oja. I think it's already like this, by the way. Snow is disabled in Oja. I mean, because it makes no sense. Or fog never happens. But this is already possible. It is already working. The point is that we may have, I mean, we could have different kind of weather by sector, meaning that, for example, in the bronze doors, you know, sometimes you have a black fog that is rising up, you know. Or you can say that in Amnadair, for whatever reason, there is a blue fog. Something like that. I don't know. Or in Oja, you have sandstorms. Or you have hurricanes. I don't know if you can do very easily. But yeah, I can think about it. I don't know. For now, I'm trying to put in the basics, you know, so that, I mean, like to put in what we need to have as a foundation. Then we will do it. Maybe we'll do more. But the problem I have here is that all these variables, as you can see, are coded, and really I don't like it. So I think that the best will be to pass into each of those functions our info structure. Yeah, I think it would be the best. I think time is the duration, right? So do we have the duration in this time? No, I think the duration is defined with the event that will stop. So I think there is another event that is happening server side which is stopping the weather. So I think it's managed server side. By the way, we should implement the stop weather, otherwise it will never stop. This thing, we should implement it, otherwise at the moment it's commented out, but we should ensure that we are pushing the event for stop weather. . 。  . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . I have to go back and check where the stop happens, but it's fine. For now, it's fine. Let's do this. Let's change each of these functions to take in the parameters, which we can call info. I mean, it was called info originally. Let's keep it as info, which is net weather info. Okay, so I'm adding to each of them. I'm adding to each of them a net weather info. Okay. So what I will do, I think unfortunately now I need to go because I have something else. Not because I have to sleep, but because I have to do something else. Unfortunately, but I can continue with this, I think, tomorrow. But the idea is just to put in. I think we don't have clouds event. So clouds event, I think we should somehow add. But what I will do, I will add the info here, and for each of these info, I will then populate. Here I already know is a thunderstorm, you know. So I think I can, well, this one maybe is not very relevant, but with the rain is more relevant. So here we will have the downfall drops and the downfall fade, which we have somehow then to match with this thing. And understand also the wind strength, how to associate. I think we need to make a match between these two structures. And the same will be with the fog. Now clear can stay a bit by itself because clear is basically just clearing the situation. But fog, for sure fog will need this. Okay. So basically I need to go through this, start to map the weather that we have server side with the one that we have client side. And then I think when we will call this, it will already rain, okay? Because we already have rain working in Unreal, so it will rain. We'll have to check if the rain will be the right volume, the right whatever, right? So, but it's too late now. I need to go. Yeah, I need to go. Okay, so anyway, thanks for watching. I think it was nice. I think we did some good progress, and I think the new avatar is fine. I like him, and I will say goodbye. Goodbye, and we will see you. I will see you the next time. Maybe tomorrow or for sure Sunday. Sunday I will stream for sure. Tomorrow depends. Maybe I have to go buy something in the afternoon. I don't know. Maybe I will not have the time. We will see. Maybe I want to play some video games or that stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.